Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I'm going live. Yeah, I'm going live now. Hello, hello, and welcome to the broadcast. I understand that earlier today the sound wasn't working, which isn't helpful. So hopefully everyone can hear and see me clearly. I am live to you from South London, where everyone's very excited about the FA Cup later today, with Crystal Palace, of course, competing for that win. So let me update you on what has happened today so far. Earlier today at around 10:30, the race set off from the Herne Hill Velodrome. First, let me get some introductions out of the way. My name is Bram. I'm a two-time veteran of the race, and I'll be your guide as we follow the action, the drama, and the strategy that will unfold over the coming hours and days. To remind you of the basic rules, contestants must make their way from London to Marrakech in Morocco using only public transport. That means trains, trams, buses, and ferries are all in play, but hire cars and planes are strictly off limits. The clock starts and keeps running as soon as the race officially begins, and it's a test not just of speed, but of planning, adaptability, and preferably a smattering of local knowledge. There's no set budget, and phones and credit cards are permitted. A lot of the planning will need to be done on the hoof, because only the first checkpoint of Paris was known in advance, and the others were only revealed at the very start. There's more than just bragging rights at stake. Prizes will be awarded in several categories, and these create their own subplots and drama. The general classification is straightforward. It's given to the first to reach the finish line in Marrakech. The low cost award goes to the individual who completes the journey with the lowest verified travel spend. Country counters are aiming to rack up the highest number of countries and bonus territories on their way to Marrakech, but they still need to hit the same checkpoints. In my view, country counters are the toughest of the bunch. It really is a marathon and not a sprint for these fierce competitors. The challenge for them is to max out their route to cover as much ground as possible, but they must ensure that they don't miss the final cutoff, which is a week after the start. Now, let's talk about how our racers might tackle the first stage of the journey. The most direct and popular route is likely to be London St Pancras to Paris Gare du Nord via Eurostar. This is the fastest and most straightforward. There are departures every hour at 31 minutes past the hour. Here you can see what that looks like. Did I not switch that over? Okay, so you've been hearing me but not seeing me. There I am. So here we can see the different departures. And the 11:31 was going to be tight, but some racers actually managed to get on it, and some others weren't so lucky. It's a good thing that racers were told in advance that they were going to Paris, because a ticket booked today would set you back more than £200. By the way, if you want to know how to potentially beat peak prices on Eurostar, have a look at the video I made about this, which you can find on my profile. For the adventurous, there's the classic train to Dover, ferry to Calais, and then onward by French rail. The lower cost option is likely a bus from London Victoria. That's obviously going to be a lot slower, but the cost makes up for it. So here you can see that even yesterday, that could be done for as little as £22. £22, and then you are in Paris tomorrow morning. We'll be tracking which strategies pay off as the day unfolds. Now it's time to talk about the racers. The field includes 100 racers, most from the UK, but also some coming over from as far as Australia and the US just for this trip. Roughly half have opted to take a tracker with them, a GPS tracker, which means they contend for the prizes. Most of the field are first-timers, but around 40 are returning. Let's preview some of the key racers to watch. Fernando from London is back to try and better his second place finish after a nail-biting end to last year's contest. Known for his meticulous preparation, he likes to take a laptop with him to plan things out And he's even made a prep visit to Herne Hill Velodrome to scope things out. We happen to have talked to him earlier at the start, and we'll bring that to you when we can. Returning to defend his crown in the general classification is Alex L. Alex L outsprinted Fernando last year, and the rivalry between them was a real highlight of last year's race. This year, both are determined to outpace each other all the way to Africa. Alex won the country counter in his first year, so he's never come home empty-handed. I joked earlier today that perhaps he might surprise us and attempt the trifecta by going for the lowest cost route, but he said that didn't suit his style. Other returning racers for their third race include Chalky's Butcher, Pam, and a couple of others. Special shout out to the Flyer Talk contingent. Flyer Talk is a message board for frequent flyers, and a bunch of whom got wind of the excellent experiences from those taking part last year and decided to give it a go themselves this year. Across the field, I have to say that there is excitement and perhaps also some level of trepidation about venturing into something of the unknown. Not many people have crossed into Morocco by ferry, and preparation levels vary from the bare minimum of research, maybe buying a map or looking at how to get to Paris, all the way through to people who've rigged up advanced Excel sheets with all of the possible things that might happen. Now, what are we going to see next? The race started at 10:30 local time, and just before that, the checkpoints were announced. At the moment, most of the racers are still in Paris, and we can have a look to see where they are. Going to see if I can set that up for you now. Bear with me one moment. There we go. We have a map, but we are not seeing the racers. Let's have a look. Right, so here we go. We have some folks in Portsmouth, it looks like.